I was in high school, I was working at a dentist's office. I thought that, teeth are this interesting. I guess the whole body would be so much more interesting. And so that's why I originally went into nursing.
I wanted to pick a career that, one, I knew I could impact people, and the other, I knew I wanted to work with children, so I wanted to be a pediatric nurse.
The person that inspired me to become a nurse was actually a nurse that took care of me when I was in the hospital a couple of years ago. She was there for me every step of the way, and it kind of changed my world, and decided to look into nursing.
Many years ago, when I was about 13, 14 years old, I became a volunteer at a local small community hospital, and that's where I first kind of was introduced to nursing, and I met so many amazing bedside nurses and nurse practitioners, nurse educators. I knew that's exactly where my fit was going to be and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
My mother was a young mom and she watched a lot of soap operas, and there was a woman on the soap opera who had this really cool white hat and a white uniform, and I wanted to be the person to wear that hat, whatever it took. Somebody I talked to yesterday was telling me that her mother wanted to be a nurse because of the cape. I'm like, it's not about the cape, it's about the hat.
We don't have capes anymore.
I don't want to say I went into the profession to meet women, but 94% or somewhere in that range. And I got my one.
The person that really drew me into nursing, I would say, is my mom, who actually passed away about a few years ago. She had cancer at the time, but the nurse that took care of her truly encouraged me to really pursue nursing. I think that's what sparked that little interest, like, what does that mean to be a nurse and to be there for someone in time of need?
When I think about my nursing career and honestly how I became a nurse, the first person that comes to mind is my mom. My mom is a nurse as well as my grandmom, so I'm 3 generations of nurses. My grandmom is now in her 80s, and I can only imagine what nursing for her was like. She came from a time when Black nurses weren't even allowed to wear stethoscopes, and to see a nurse as her granddaughter who's so powerful, who's so driven to do things in the nursing industry, she's very happy in its purest form.
My very first job out of school, I worked at a health center, and at this health center, it was really run by nurse practitioners. I remember thinking, like, wow, look at all the stuff they get to do. I want to be them when I grow up. If I could help somebody or touch somebody just like they did, then I could really enjoy my job every day. It would be worth getting out of bed.